Hello everyone, T. Mitchell Tech back here with another GRC Lab. Today we're going to be going over International Organization of Standards, alright, ISO 27001, okay. I did a poll on my LinkedIn, a lot of you voted for me to review this one, so this is the one we're going to be going over today, okay, International Organization of Standards 27001, okay. So how I started this, guys, is, let me pull up right here, okay? Here is a copy of ISO 20001 controls, okay? For the official version, guys, you have to pay for it. I didn't pay for it. I found this online somewhere, okay? And the controls that I audited, them on, guys, was 7.1 to 7.9. Okay, so if I go right here and I click search, Control F, 7.1. Okay, you can see these are all physical controls. All right, physical security perimeters, physical entry, securing offices, rooms, and facilities, physical security monitoring, protecting against physical and environmental threats, working in secure areas, clear desk and clear screen, equipment sitting and protection. All right, security of assets off premise. All right, I stopped at 7.9, guys. Remember, I don't do the whole compliance audit because that would take too long. So I took those controls, guys, and made my own spreadsheet right here. Remember, I got my compliance audit on one side and my risk assessment on the other side. Okay, so the organization that I was doing this compliant audit on, guys, is a major university. So I wanted to do it. I wanted to do a compliance audit on a major university's information technology department and see how they comply with those. So there's the information that I put in my prompt when I talked to ChatGPT. Okay, I told them to answer my questions as if I am giving them a compliance audit for a major university. Okay, so here are my questions right here, guys, that I asked them. Remember, when we're asking these questions, guys, we want to try to dumb it down and make it seem as understandable as possible to the people that we're trying to describe these controls to. Okay, so here are the questions that I asked. So when I was gathering this information, guys, I actually went and did a little bit of open source intelligence. Okay, since I wanted to do it on a major university, I looked up a major university in my area. Okay, Duke University. That's the university that I did it on. I just typed in Duke University, information security policy, and a few things came up that I could use for this compliance audit that we can say was documentation. Okay, physical protection, locate servers in an access controlled environment and limit physical access, log physical access for sensitive systems. Okay, so this is open source intelligence information that I got from policies that they had online. Here's another one. All right, locate desktops in an access controlled environment. Keep laptops with you at all times or store it in a secure location. So I just wanted to get some real information just to throw it in here so it wasn't all computer generated. Okay, so Duke University, this is their information security policy. All right, all of it is not available to me, but information that they did give me, I applied it to this section of the compliance audit that I'm auditing them on. Okay, or a major university. Everything else, guys, was computer generated AI. Okay, so here are the questions that I asked them, guys. All right, 7.1. Are we compliant with the controls that state security perimeters should be defined and used to protect areas containing information and associated assets? Okay, so then they answered that. All right, this was from the documentation that I showed you from the Duke website. They locate desktops in an access controlled environment. They keep laptops with you at all times or stored in a secure location. And they locate servers in an access controlled environment and limit physical access. And they log physical access for sensitive systems. Okay? 7.2, all right, is the IT department compliant with the control to protect secure areas through appropriate entry controls and access points? All right. So we have a strict visitor management process in place. Visitors are required to sign in, providing authentication, and receive a visitor badge before entering any secure area. They are escorted by authorized personnel throughout their visit. Okay. So everything in the purple, guys, remember, is AI generated. If it's green or it's orange, it's something that I got from their actual documentation. Okay. 7.3. Is the IT department compliant with the controls to design and implement physical security measures for offices, rooms, and facilities? All right. The head of the IT department said, we have implemented a comprehensive access control system that includes measures such as card readers, biometric scanners, or keypads to restrict entry into secure areas. Only authorized personnel are granted access through these control entry points. So pretty much you got to have some type of smart card or some type of device, keypad, biometric scan, Windows Hello or something like that that'll let you into their secure areas. Okay, so that's good. 7.4. So remember, guys, this session of the audit is talking about physical security. Okay, 7.4. Is the IT department compliant with the control to continuously monitor premises for unauthorized physical access? Are they continuously monitoring in that? Okay. Duke University deploys cameras, closed circuit and network cameras, to meet operational physical security or public safety requirements. So I actually got this from Duke's documentation, guys. Somewhere in Duke's documentation. Okay. 7.5. Is the IT department compliant with the control to design and implement protection against physical and environmental threats to infrastructure? This was a compliant that they weren't all the way compliant with. Okay. So what the AI told me was our university has implemented physical security measures, fire protection systems, uninterruptible power supply, and redundant infrastructure to address physical and environmental threats. However, we are working on improving our preparedness for natural disasters, enhancing physical infrastructure protection, and conducting more frequent testing and reviews. So they are working on improving that. Okay. They are working on improving our preparedness for natural disasters, so they don't have probably a disaster recovery plan or something like that that they need in place, or the correct physical buildings to protect them from natural disasters. Okay. 7.6. Is the IT department compliant with the control to design and implement security measures for working in secure areas? Okay. Our university is currently not fully compliant with the control for security measures in secure areas. We are actively working on implementing standard security measures, including risk assessments, policies and procedures, access controls, security awareness training, and regular audits. All right. So they're not compliant with design and implement security measures for working in secure areas. So it may be somewhere that an employee or somewhere is working at that area is not secure. All right, with confidential information. 7.7. Okay, we have two more after this, guys. Everyone, bear with me. A clear desk rule for papers and removable storage media, as well as clear screen rule for information processing facilities, defined and appropriately enforced by the IT department. So our clear desk rules for papers and removable storage media, as well as clear screen rules, information processing facilities. All right, so we got right here 7.7. Are clear desk rules for papers and removable storage media, as well as clear screen rules for information processing facilities, defined and appropriately enforced by the IT department? So are they enforcing clear desk, clear screen rules, guys? Are they enforcing the fact that they want you to have your work information off of your desk when you're not there? Okay. 7.8. Is the IT department taking measures to reduce risk from physical and environmental threats as well as unauthorized access and damage? The answer from the AI, the IT department has implemented security measures to protect against threats, unauthorized access, and damage. Regular audits, incident response plans, and employee training enhance overall security. Okay? So the IT department is taking measures to reduce risk from physical and environmental threats as well as unauthorized access. So they do have those measures implemented. And 7.9 is the IT department implemented measures to prevent loss, damage, theft, or compromise of off-site devices and to avoid interruptions to the organization's operations. The IT department keeps off-site devices safe by using strong passwords, encrypting data, erasing information if a device is lost, and teaching employees about security. This helps avoid problems and keeps devices secure when they're not at the office. So those are my questions, guys, that I asked the head of the IT department for the major university. So let's go back over here to our compliance audit. Remember, these are the controls. They're 7.1 to 7.9. And here they are. I threw them in this spreadsheet here. Okay. So remember, all I was asking, okay, was were they complying with these controls right here? All right. I just asked it in my own particular way. Okay. International Organization of Standards controls, guys, are really simple. Okay. They're not very, I feel like they're worded better than some of NIST 853's controls. Okay. They're not very wordy. So you got the text, the control type, information security properties, cybersecurity concept, operational capabilities, the security domain, how the data was collected. Remember, when you have this, it was a documentation, testing, or was it an interview? All right, evidence detail. How do we get our evidence? Who gave us the detail to the evidence? It's the same type deal, guys. Compliance audit and risk assessment. Okay. Remember, these are the findings. Okay. These are all the things that I just read out. Okay. Everything that I just read out. All right. If the control is in place, everyone, in the disposition, we just need to put in place. There's no need to do a risk assessment on something, on a control that's in place. Remember that from the last one, okay? So, the first one, physical security perimeters. That was in place. We got that from the documentation. That's why it's orange and green. Okay? Control in place, we're going to leave that alone. 7.2, physical entry. All right? We have a strict visitor management process in place. Okay, so they're enforcing that. So that control is in place, guys. That's good, everyone. 7.3, securing offices, rooms, and facilities. Physical security for offices, rooms, and facilities should be designated and implemented. All right. We have implemented a comprehensive access control system that includes measurements such as card readers, biometric scanners, or keypads to restrict entry into secure areas. They're compliant with that. Okay, they're compliant with these top 3 controls. Here's another one. All right. Duke University deploys cameras, okay, to meet operational physical security or public safety requirements. So right there, physical security monitoring. They have cameras. They're compliant with that. Next, control. So then we come down here to the 3 they're not compliant with. And we're going to go over these and we're going to do our risk assessment and find out how much of a risk it is. And then we're going to find out the risk explanation, and we're going to go through that and write a letter to our department so that we can get them to try to mitigate these. Okay. 7.5, protecting against physical and environmental threats. Remember, they were only partially compliant with that. The evidence detail got it from the interview with the IT manager. Our university has implemented physical security measures, 5 fire protection systems, uninterruptible power supply, and redundant infrastructure to address physical and environmental threats. However, we are working on improving our preparedness for natural disasters, enhancing physical infrastructure protection, and conducting more frequent testing and reviews. So they're not all the way prepared there. So I'm guessing it's some type of policy that they need in place, disaster recovery plan or something like that, that can get those mitigated with this. So I'm going to go partially in place. What are some of the threats from a national disaster? All right, if your buildings aren't strong enough or they have holes in it or something, you could potentially damage critical infrastructure, especially if you're using an on-prem environment. Okay, that's not good. They're not complying with that. They're partially complying with that. Physical systems may be damaged due to severe weather. Okay, how are they mitigating that? So these are the ways they're mitigating that without having that control in place. So they have employee awareness training, reminders and guidelines, secure storage options, regular monitoring and audits, continuous improvement. Okay, those are some of the things they're trying to keep everybody informed. You know, if you feel like your laptop might get wet, don't have it in a certain area or something like that, but they need to get those controls in place. Okay, the next one. Working in a secure area. Security measures for working in secure areas should be designated and implemented. All right, then we're not complying with that. Our university is currently not fully compliant with the control for security measures in security areas. We are effectively working on implementing standardized security measures, including risk assessments, policies and procedures, access control, security awareness training, and regular audits. So, it is not in place. Remember, workers in secure areas without security measures can threaten intellectual property. So they might be working on something very important, like in a server or something, and they're in a location where they're not completely safe. Somebody can either somebody can either hurt the employee or hurt the infrastructure that he's working on. Without the control in place, mitigating the risk is challenging. Steps include employee training, temporary measures, incident response plan, monitoring, and continuous improvement. Implementing the control is crucial to strong security and compliance. So they are trying, everyone. So we're going to write up how severe we think that risk is here in a minute. And the last one that they're not compliant with is the clear desk and clear screen. They don't have a policy on this wrote up. So according to this compliance audit right here. So we're going to do a risk assessment on that. Okay? At present, there is no specific policy or guideline in place. This mandates employees to hire the clear desk rule. Like I said, they pretty much mitigate all of this through their employee training. Okay? Because they don't have it in place. Personal identifiable information may be stolen as well as confidential information like student grades. Okay, you need to have that. You need to have that stuff put up, because if you have a USB drive with the test answers on it at Duke University and the student picks it up and he has the answers now and he gives it to the whole class and everybody has an A because he gave all the answers out. Okay, they quickly could have been prevented if you would have had a clear desk policy. So that's something you need to implement. So that could be potentially catastrophic to the continuality of especially of a university where something like that as far as grades is important. Okay? So, now that we've got that out of the way, let's go ahead and do our risk assessment, everyone. Okay? Remember, we got our likelihood and impact values. What you got to do is you got to times this by this. You got to time this by your impact value, and that will give you your total risk score, overall risk score, okay? And that will tell us how severe the risk is. Here's our risk value scale. Remember, if you're in the yellow, all right, you really need to mitigate it. If it's red, it's very severe, okay? We have our threat list here. The different type of threats. I'm not going to go through all those. You need to go look at my last video if you want to go a little bit more in depth into that. So here we go. Let's see what's going on here. All right. So physical systems may be damaged due to severe weather. How likely is that to happen? It rains about what? Probably about once a week if you're being, especially depending on what part of the world you're in. Here in North Carolina, where we're doing this compliance audit, maybe Duke University, it probably rains about once a week. So the likelihood of that happening, water damage, I would say that's pretty high. Okay. The impact of that. What is the potential impact of the water getting onto something severe? Now they are mitigating that. All right, they have secure storage options, it's regular monitoring in audits, continuous improvement. So they are continuously improving that. So since they do have mitigation factors in place, I'm not going to grade their impact as high. Okay. Hopefully they have their servers in a place where if they have on-prem in one of these secure storage options. Okay. So I'm going to grade that out at a 5. Okay, 10 times 5, okay, that's 50. All right, so the risk value, all right, that's a moderate risk. That risk is moderate. So what would we say? The risk estimation, physical systems could potentially be damaged. Okay. Let's go ahead and wrap that. All right, let's boom. Let's go down to the next one. Okay. Data modification and disruption. Which one was this one? Working in secure areas. Without the control in place, so working in secure area without security measures can threaten intellectual property. So without controls in place, mitigating the risk is challenging. Steps include employee training, temporary measures, incident response planning, monitoring, continuous improvement. Implementing the control is crucial for stronger security and compliance. All right, they're not confluent. We actively working on implementing standard security, including risk assessments, policies, procedures, access controls. Okay. So working in a secure area. So if somebody's in a secure area and they need protection, then they could potentially be harmful to the organization. And if their information is compromised because they're not protected in the area they are in, they could potentially be a high risk. How likely is that to happen? We don't know how often people are in the area where something like that could possibly happen. Hopefully they have an IT officer somewhere that they can work in where when they're dealing with critical information that they can get to a place where they are safe and it cannot be tampered with if it was left around. So I'm going to say the likelihood of that happening, it should be a 5 because I feel like an employee of the IT department or somebody working with information security that can potentially be vulnerable to an organization, they should be aware of what type of information they are leaving around and what type of impact they could have if somebody with the wrong intentions gets a hold of that information. Okay, so the impact of that, if that was to happen, I would say that's a severe impact. Okay, so I'm gonna go there with a 10. 5 times 10, that's 50. That's another moderate risk. Okay. All right, so what we're gonna say the risk explanation is come important information could be leaked into the wrong hands. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say here. We're going to wrap that text. All right, let's send it that. Might look nice up there. There we go. And the last one that they're not complying on, everyone. Clear desk and clear screen. So they need to implement that. At present, there is no specific policy or guideline in place. This mandates employees to hire clear desk rules. I feel like they need to implement this ASAP. The likelihood of that happening in a school is very high, and the impact of that is going to be very high on the university. This is a severe risk for them. Okay, so 10, that's going to be 100. So we're going to say 100 risk explanation. So that's it is that is detrimental to the integrity of the school, the confidentiality and the integrity. Okay, people's grades being confident, the integrity that people are going to keep their grades right. Okay, when you're dealing with something like school, guys, grades is important. You're in university. Okay, people are paying to take these classes, and if you got just the answers laying around on a USB drive on your desk, guys, that can be very bad for your university. So I'm going to say potential disaster for education system. Potential disaster for educational system. Just because the possibility of the cheating and type of stuff that can happen like that if something like that stays in place. So these last two, everyone, were in place. So as you know, I'm not going to do any type of risk assessment on that, but those are my 3 risks. Okay. So it's protecting against physical and environmental threats, working in secure areas, clear desks, and clear screen. I had my risk explanation. I graded them out. Okay. And then I wrote a letter, okay, to the technology department chair on why I think they should mitigate these and why it's important. So I'm going to read that out to you, and then we're going to finish up here. I want to emphasize the importance of 3 controls outlined in ISO 27001. Physical security, secure area measures, and clear desk, clear screen rules. These controls are vital to our university's information security and can bring significant benefits and cost savings. Firstly, protecting against physical threats and environmental risks ensure the continuity of our IT infrastructure and safeguards critical systems and data. By addressing these systems, we can reduce downtime, financial losses, and the potential reputational damage. So when you're pitching this to the person that you want to pitch it to, everyone, you want to let them know that they will save money by doing this. When you let an organization know that they're going to save money, they want to keep you around because you're saving them money. Okay? It's self-explanatory. Firstly, protecting against physical threats and environment risks ensure the continuality of our IT infrastructure and safeguards critical systems and data. By addressing these threats, we can reduce downtime, financial loss, and potential reputational damages. Secondly, implementing security measures for secure areas and enforcing clear desk, clear scheme rules protect sensitive information, prevent data breaches, and maintain compliance with data protection regulations. These measures enhance information security and save costs by preventing unauthorized access and legal liabilities. Lastly, please prioritize the implementation and enforcement of these controls within the IT department to create a secure environment, protect information, and demonstrate our commitment to information security and compliance. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I'm available to discuss further details or answer any questions you may have. All right, sincerely, Tavis Mitchell. So this is just my quick lab here, guys. Did some International Organization of Standards controls, 7.1 to 7.9. I appreciate you watching. Probably do some HIPAA controls next. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. I got a lot more coming out. So I appreciate it, and y'all have a good day.